Hi, it's James from Hoxton Therapy. If you've got any questions on mental health, if you've got a question on boundaries and counselling, something about counselling, therapy, whatever it is, ask your question in the comments below and we will answer them in future videos. Sometimes we're going to be doing short videos on Instagram, sometimes they might be long form and they'll go out on YouTube or Facebook. Whatever it is, ask a question and we will answer them in future videos. In this particular video, we're going to be talking about boundaries in counselling. What are they, and how does this affect therapy? So that's coming up right after this.
First of all, I want to say what boundaries are.
Oh, good.
Okay,
yeah,
what they
I was
are.
thinking that too, actually.
There are some boundaries which are very obvious, which is time.
Oh, yeah.
And usually sessions are 50 minutes. Or some people use an hour. I don't. I do 50 minutes, which is very, very common. And with that time boundary, the way I like to work, I start the session bang on the dot. So if it's a 3 o'clock session, and the person arrives early, which they frequently do, a few minutes early, and I sit them down, I wait somewhere else, and then I join them at 3 o'clock. I don't, even if I'm free and they've arrived a couple of minutes early, I don't sort of amble in and say, "Oh, we might as well make a start." I don't do that. Start at thrust, but bang on 3 o'clock, and then I've got to make sure I can see a clock, and then at 10 to 4, 50 minutes later, I say, it's time to stop for today. Even if whatever state they're in, even if they're crying, even if they're in the middle of a story about something that's difficult. The person the therapist who practices very, very, very strict will just go, it's time to stop, whatever. I usually say it's time to stop, but if someone's kind of just telling me something that they've been working up to telling me for weeks, I will soften it, and I will soften it myself, and I will say something like, I can see you're in the middle of telling me something that's really, really important, and we can return to this next week, but it's time to stop for today.
And you still got to show empathy at the end of the day, haven't you?
Well, I don't sort of cut people off when it's like a really kind of pivotal moment.
Right.
But
that's lunch.
Yes, off. That's it. But I do still end the session though. I never go. I just don't go over. Anyway, so that's one boundary, and then a boundary of space. We always meet in my therapy room. It's like an office that I have kitted out comfortably as a therapy room, and we always meet there. Never meet anywhere else. The door's always shut. It's private. And also, regarding the time, it's usually, it's not all the time, but usually the same time and day each week. So it might be every Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock. I used to never ever change sessions, but life intervenes sometimes, so occasionally I do rearrange a session for someone if I can do. But usually it's the same time and same date each week. And then other boundaries, money. People.
Oh God, yes.
I invoice people. People pay me in advance on the 1st of each month. Now, another more sophisticated and again very important boundary is my manner. I, as a therapist, I don't want to be inconsistent. And I don't want to. I want to sort of go, well, this is what you can expect from me. Not this over here.
Yeah.
Because people need a certain amount of what you might call safety.
Yeah, cool. So why are boundaries important then?
Okay, so I've been talking about what some of the boundaries that exist. Why are they important? And this is a word I've used before, which is safety. Now, people who come to therapy, they've got some difficulty or difficulties, problems going on in their life, and they think, I need some help with this. What they may or may not think about, but certainly what I think about, is there's underlying stuff, issues. There's that when we see a difficulty here, like I'm always late for work, or I think my boss hates me, or whatever the difficulty is, underlying that is a person with a whole emotional life.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't take us long to come up with a list of half a dozen common emotions.
Yeah.
Guilt, anger, shame, sadness, fear, regret. You know, those are some of the common emotions that we have. And to an extent, we all do this, to an extent those emotions are out of view. I mean, we might feel some of them very much, might feel very, very sad, but not be in touch very much with our anger. Or it could be the other way around. Someone is very angry and irritated with people and aggressive, but the sadness just is completely hidden. So, and I think that all of that kind of that attempt to abolish part of our emotional life causes us problems.
All right.
Now, it's the therapist's job to help the client or patient get more in touch with those emotions that have been pushed to one side. You might say suppressed, or abolished. You know, or they're not abolished, but the person tries to abolish them. You know, who wants to feel guilty? You know, who wants to feel sad? So we no. But we don't work in a void. So some emotions fill us. So those are the ones we're aware of. So in our subconscious, we've got these other things. So it's the therapist's job to help that person get in touch with those things. Now those things might be frightening. If we start to really get in touch with our shame, for example. Shame is a big one. Shame. What does shame mean? Shame is like, I'm bad.
Yeah.
Ever had that, James?
Yeah.
Me too.
But you know, that shame, I think once you realise it's there, I think it can really help you grow. When
you realise it's there, absolutely. Can we hang on to that point?
Sure.
I was going to come back to that because shame is one of my favourite topics.
But
and also the topic of an emotion, something helping you to grow. That's another one of my favourite topics. But just as we'll park those. Now, so this work. Well, you know, when someone comes to a therapy session, it's not just the therapist that's working; it's the client. Client's working.
Oh, of course,
We're both working, but we've got different tasks. The therapist's job is to help that person get in touch with stuff that they don't want to get in touch with. Really, to explore those areas that are difficult. Say someone's feels like they're addicted to pornography, for example, and feels like it's a problem and comes to therapy. They might, for example, in their social life be the life and soul of the party, but actually not want to think about the fact that their father died when they were 9 years old. It's just an example.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
And so the pornography might be somehow performing some kind of function for that person so they don't have to get in touch with their sadness. You follow me?
I didn't know you could use it like that.
Well,
I didn't know it was used like that. Not that I ever...
this is... No. Well, yeah, this is the way I've painted it, it's quite a simple example, but that's the mechanism.
Oh, right, okay.
That's the mechanism that a therapist will be alert to and will be thinking of. In other words, what is that person doing in order to keep at bay difficult feelings? Now, so the task for the client then is to get in touch with their difficult feelings. Yeah. So they need safety. And when I first started doing this work, I was in a group and someone said, there were 8 of us. It was a men's group actually, and one of the guys said, "I don't know how safe it is here." And I thought, well, that's a bit of a ridiculous comment. What's the problem? You know, because it was a nice big house in Scotland, and it was like set up by an organisation, and we'd all pay to be there, and it was all properly. It wasn't a dodgy place. Yeah, you know, it was. I thought, well, this place is great. You know, the food's good. Yeah, and what is there to be unsafe about? Yeah, there's no traffic around. It was protected by woods. You know, you couldn't hear any roads or anything. Members of the public couldn't come in. I thought it was ridiculous. He was talking about safety. But what he meant was psychological safety, emotional safety. So what he's saying is it safe here for me to reveal who I am? Oh gosh, yeah. Now, we're talking about boundaries. Yeah. If a therapist is unboundaried, so if the therapist comes out with stuff that feels to the client completely off the wall, and isn't related to what was going on, but is there so that the therapist enjoys himself or herself. That's an unbounded therapist. Sad. So the client starts to go, what can I, and starts to shut down. So that's partly why boundaries are important.
So, what did you say? Boundaries are important.
That's why boundaries are important.
Hi, so I hope you enjoyed that video and you got something from it. If you didn't, leave a dislike or maybe even just like the video. But more importantly, if you've got a question on mental health, maybe it's not related to what you were just watching. Maybe there's something else that's been burning inside you for a long time that you just need answers on, but you can't go to therapy for whatever reason. Then leave your question in the comment section below and we will try our best to answer your question, whether it's in written form in the comments, or maybe it's a short video on Instagram or a longer video on YouTube. Whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you want to ask us, leave a comment below and we will try our best to answer your questions in future videos. So whatever you do, please like this video, comment if you liked it, leave a dislike if you didn't like it so we know if you didn't like it, and until next time, stay safe out there. It's like COVID-19 at the moment.